a very important operation is called inclination extension, and that is if you find your body at a particular, or a portion of your body, a length, in a particular angle, it has the possibility of trajecting itself through space. Yeah? And this inclination and this trajectory is determined by torsions in your body. And for example, if I find my hand like this, I find that the natural inclination of projection of this limb, of this section here, is this direction here. And this is called inclination trajectory. The natural inclination of this one is also there and that way here. So I'll just do my shoulder. Transport of a line is much different. You take it and you move this line to shape in relationship to the body, or you can reorient the body, but it stays in relationship to the room. Yeah? And you can move it wherever you like. Yeah? So either it stays in relationship to the body, yeah, or it stays in relationship to the room, and I can shift my body anywhere I like. I can actually shift the level of this thing also, as long as its original orientation in the room remains the same. Yeah? And now it's back to here. And this movement you see now, here, like this, yeah, parallel, but folding like this, is called shearing. Yeah? And the shear are when two lines that are parallel fold like this and maintain their relationship. And you can maintain, for example, a very common one is a relationship between the thighs and the forearms. Yeah? And you can maintain a kind of parallelity, yeah, with attraction and repulsion between four different limbs. Yeah? Boom. Okay. The number of approaches for lines extending from your body is probably as rich as your imagination is. And the ways of approaching these lines are probably as many as you can think of yourself. It's just that in a very formal sense, it is very important that you be very precise about the angle of approach and which surface of your limb you're approaching the lines with. In other words, I'm approaching either the top of my arms or the underside, yeah, like this, or the back, for example, or the sides, insides, boof, 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 or the outsides, boof, 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 boof. And you see it makes a lot of difference because this is not that. The important thing is how you approach these lines, yeah? Either you put them inside your body, as we said before, and slide along them, or they exist outside your body, and they can exist beforehand, and you approach them. Yeah? And you can approach them from under, from the back, from the top, from the front, with any different side of any limb you so desire. In other words, I could place one, say, a line here already in space, and I approach it this way, or I could approach it that way, or I could approach it this way, or I could approach it that way, for example. Or I could approach it from the top and move into it that way. If you have a line in space, and let's for the time being, let's put this line on the floor, okay? And we imagine another line going back like this, okay? It is very important that you learn to rotate your limbs and torque your limbs so that your approaches are extremely rigorous and very pristine. A good way to practice this is to imagine two lines on the floor. They go like this and go like this. And take your hand and orient the back of your hand towards this line, move it back to that point, and adjust your body because this is your priority. So you go and you adjust your body to account for this. Okay? Now I can, for example, go on the front of my hand, on the back of my arm, as it were. The torsions in your arms are an essential part of this. In other words, in ballet, you constantly have this elevated elbow, which is one torsion inwards, yeah? You know, this way, this way, this way, this way, yeah, inwards. And in this technology, you also use this, yeah, other relationship to these lines. There's a line coming out of my head here, and you can use this relationship if the line is here. You can imagine this relationship to it, and of course that relationship to it, and that relationship to it. In straight lines, you already know from ballet, yeah, you can imagine the arms also having very complex torsions, yeah, and not symmetrical torsions that produce, after a while, a very complex residual body mechanic that produce more and more complex relationships the more folding you do within the body, and then things become extremely mobile and very, very complicated. Yeah? Well, torsions. Don't forget them. Always use them.